Okay then, here I am recording an episode. My webcam stopped working while I was doing some work on the computer today, so I'm using my phone. Please forgive. So, I asked a question on social media. I have a lot of friends who are LARPers. I spent a lot of time LARPing over the past 20 years. 20 years. Wow. Is that right? Yeah. Freaky. Anyways, I've been LARPing for a long time, but before that I was a tabletop gamer. And I think that tabletop games definitely did change how or rather, LARPs changed how I ran tabletop games. I think that it's worth noting that it did affect how I run and play in tabletop games. And I asked questions online as well. Some people brought up things like the more sort of logistical elements of adventuring that maybe you probably ignored in tabletop until you did it at a LARP, like food. You often bring food at a LARP, right? You got to eat something. But you know, before that, some people didn't really think about it that much with their with their tabletop games. Encumbrance. Yeah, anybody who's actually worn armor uh, and carried a bunch of gear understands that encumbrance exists for a reason. SEA types probably knew this beforehand, but if you go LARPing, you wear a full suit of armor, you realize real quick there's a limit to what you can do while carrying a bunch of gear. And this isn't even the gear that is heavy as the stuff that was actually worn in real world. Um, things like that came up. For me, it changed staging and presentation. I got a lot more interested in making voices and being in character, and not that I was out of character before, but it became much more an exercise in acting and than it used to be. So those are the things that came to my mind, and but anyways, if you LARP, what did it? Does that change your tabletop games? Does it change the context of them? One of the things that LARPing has that tabletop games don't is a sense of downtime. Um, in that, in a tabletop game, I can fast forward. I can skip the part where you're just hanging out waiting for something to happen. LARPs, because time is of traveling in real time to a certain extent, you end up with a lot of periods where it's just hanging out, where it's just you hanging out in character, and you can't really do that in a tabletop game quite as easily. Yeah, anyways, these were the things that were on my mind. I will hopefully get my webcam fixed before the next time I have to record, but I thought I'd at least post this. And subscribe, like, share with all the people, and check out my Patreon, and have a good evening. Thanks. Okay.